It was just something that I did off of emotion rather than logic.
I feel like that amount, for one, is a tad preposterous to me.
Mr. Johnson, do you need to be excused? You look like you're having some difficulty in your nose or something.
The state calls the mother Destiny Watkins. Miss Watkins, could you state your full name?
Destiny Watkins.
And ma'am, what are the names of the children that you have with Jatevia Johnson?
Jahiel and Judah Johnson.
And how old are they?
They're one.
And do they currently live with you?
Yes, but he gets them a couple times a week as well.
Do they stay with the father at his address?
Yes.
So they stay there overnight?
Yes.
Do you have set days where the father has the child?
He's working two jobs, so we kind of discuss at the end of the week, at the beginning of the week, like what days he gets them. So one week he'll get them 3 days out of the week, and then the next week he'll get them 4 days out of the week.
Okay. Can you explain what that looks like as far as like what time he would get the child and then what time he returns the child to you?
So he'll pick them up around 8 or 9 in the morning, and then I will go to his house and come and get them around like maybe 1, 2 o'clock before he has to clock in at his other job.
Okay, so he has the child for a couple of hours on those days?
Correct. And then on the weekends, he gets them overnight.
Okay. Is that Friday to Sunday?
Sometimes it's Saturday to Sunday, and I keep them Friday. It just depends on what his work schedule is for that week.
Okay. And ma'am, is it true that you're currently expecting another child together due in November of 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And that child is with the father, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Okay. And ma'am, how are the children covered for health insurance?
They're covered under Medicaid under the state.
Okay. And are the two of you married at this time?
No.
And do you live together?
No.
Okay. And ma'am, are you asking that the two of you be appointed joint managing conservators?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking that you be the one to decide where the child lives within Dallas and contiguous counties?
What does that mean? Like,
so that would mean that you can move if you need to with the children. But it would need to be within Dallas County or the counties that surround Dallas.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And ma'am, are you okay with the standard possession schedule being included in the order?
Am I okay with
the father having the standard visitation schedule?
Yes.
Okay. And ma'am, has there been any family violence between the two of you in the past 2 years?
No.
Okay. And so are you okay with him having your address and phone number in the order?
Yeah. I honestly I've been trying to get the case dismissed because we have gotten like better with our co-parenting. When I filed, we had just broken up and it was kind of like a messy situation, and I kind of filed on emotion. So I don't want the order to be in place in the first place, but I know that's not my decision. But I mean, he takes care of his kids. Like, he's a good dad to his kids. It was just something that I did off of emotion rather than logic.
And Miss Watkins, do you understand that the state is a party to your case?
Yes.
And that since the children are covered through the government plan of health insurance, we have to ask that child support and medical support be set?
So, okay, so because my children get, I'm not understanding the correlation. So because my children are on Medicaid, he has to pay that, like even if he takes care of his kids.
That's correct.
The children are receiving a benefit at the expense of the state. That's why.
Okay. Miss Watkins, are you asking to leave the children's last name the same as what it is currently as Johnson?
Yes.
And ma'am, is it correct that you do not want child support or retroactive support or medical support ordered?
Right, that's correct. I don't.
Okay. Pass the witness. The state calls Jatevia Johnson. Mr. Johnson, could you state your name?
Jatevia Johnson.
And Mr. Johnson, did you hear the announcement as far as how the children are covered for health insurance?
Yeah.
And sir, do you have the children covered under a plan through your employer?
They don't provide that until I've worked there for a year, so they are still under the Medicaid that they were born with when we started.
Okay. And sir, are you in agreement to be named joint managing conservators with the mother?
Yes.
And are you in agreement to the standard visitation schedule?
Yes.
And sir, has there been any family violence between the two of you in the past 2 years?
No.
And sir, are you okay with her having your address and your phone number?
Yes.
And sir, the state had calculated, sorry, 1 second. Your income at $4,923 a month. Do you believe that's accurate as far as your income?
Per se, yes.
Okay. And sir, is it correct that you currently work 2 full-time jobs?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, the state had calculated child support at $1,100. Are you in agreement to that amount?
No.
Okay. And can you tell the court why you don't agree?
Because I don't understand why I'm having to pay so much for 2 kids that I'm already providing for. I feel like that amount, for one, is a tad preposterous to me. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that.
Okay. And sir, the state had calculated medical support at 9% of your gross income, at $443 a month. Are you in agreement to that?
No.
And do you believe that amount should be lower?
I'm not understanding why I'm having to pay that when they were already covered under Medicaid and they can go to the doctor just fine and be properly taken care of. So I'm not understanding why a father who would take care of his kids is even having to pay. So I'm a tad confused.
Okay. And sir, have you tried to put the children on private health insurance?
Who?
Have you tried to put the children on private health insurance that you pay for?
No, because they were on Medicaid and I didn't think that I had to until this situation would occur.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Okay. Miss Watkins, I can't see you any longer there. Thank you. All right. Let me get you to summarize for me. I've got the amount for the child support and the amount for the medical support. And was there agreement about JMC's? You didn't.
Sorry, Judge, I didn't announce it at the beginning, but they do agree to
Okay.
being appointed joint managing conservators. and to standard possession.
Okay.
And they agree that there's no family violence and no non-disclosure requested.
Okay. And a geographic restriction.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the parents of these children joint managing conservators. That means each of you has duties, rights and duties and obligations towards the children. I'm ordering that the geographic restriction will apply to the primary parent being Miss Watkins. The restriction is Dallas and contiguous counties. I'm noting that there is has been no family violence, no need for non-disclosures, and granting father the standard possession order. I want you to, since you've been doing something very different from standard possession, I want the two of you to understand that if you agree to something other than standard possession, that's fine, as long as you agree. A standard possession order is the minimum. Right. So if you don't have any agreements, then Mr. Johnson has standard possession. Otherwise, you can agree to as much access as the two of you want or need. With regard to support, the resources that Mr. Johnson has would warrant a child support payment of $1,100. And I understand Mr. Johnson doesn't seem to appreciate that the Texas legislature has previously established child support guidelines, and that means that they have the AG has to consider your income, grant you certain reductions in that income, excuse me, and then we'll calculate the child support from there. This is set by the legislature. The AG has no choice about this. And it has to do with the fact that you have a pretty good income. Mr. Johnson, do you need to be excused? You look like you're having some difficulty in your nose or something.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. The medical support, I'm setting that at $443. Mr. Johnson, you stated a few minutes ago that you don't understand why you have to pay for insurance. Well, everybody has to buy insurance for their children. And when you are receiving state benefits, the court will find the state, the legislature, and the court find that because you have resources, the state should not be paying the full tab for your children. Just like other parents go out and buy insurance or get it from their employers, you're required to do the same thing. It's a benefit, but it's not a free benefit. It's a benefit to make sure that your children have health care coverage. But if you're able to pay for it, just like everybody that's not receiving child support or benefits, everybody else has to pay for their own insurance. You would be reimbursing the state for benefits already given to your children and that they've already received. And if you stay on it, then they'll continue to receive those benefits and you'll be ordered to reimburse for those. And I think that's everything. Did I cover everything, Ms. Phillip?
Yes, that's everything, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Johnson, if you care to go to the law library, you can go look up the Texas Family Code and look up at the child support guidelines, and that'll show you exactly why you're at this level. Thank y'all. Good luck to you.